Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today on Father's Day. The Boston Red Sox versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday and happy Father's Day, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left fielder for the Boston Red Sox, Jarren Duran. And on the right, one of the best catchers in the game, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Boston Red Sox. Leading off for the Red Sox, the former Brewer second baseman, Anthony Siegler. Batting second, playing center field, Ceddanne Rafaela. Batting third, DHing for the Red Sox, Mickey Gasper. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Wilson Contreras. Batting fifth, playing left field, Jarren Duran. Batting sixth, playing third base, Caleb Durbin. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Marcelo Mayer. Batting eighth, catching today for the Red Sox, Connor Wong. And batting ninth, playing right field, Nick Eaton. And on the mound for the Red Sox with a 3-4 record, ERA of 2.93, it is Peyton Tolley. And now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop today, giving Colt Emerson a day off, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, catching today for the Mariners, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting third, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, DHing for Seattle, Rob Refsnyder. Batting sixth, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. Batting seventh, playing left field, Victor Robles. Batting eighth, playing third base from the Baltimore Orioles, Weston Wilson. And batting ninth, playing second base, Cole Clutch Young. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 5-4 record, ERA of 3.43, it is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. Happy Father's Day 2026 to all. Hope you guys are having a great one so far. Got to have a little bit of breakfast with my pops. Got a chance to take a few walks with the pup as well. And I'm ready for a Mariner victory. As we know, this is the third lefty in a row. The first time that we've gone against three lefties in a series versus a team. We got beat up 6-2 in game one. We got beat up again last night, 5-1. We got to find a way to get the job done today. Now, we do have a good record on Father's Day here at home, so at least we have that going for us. And hopefully we can get the pitch count up on Tolley, and hopefully we can get a few home runs and a few hits and RBIs early and often. We got to prevent the sweep, and we got to be able to go one game above 500. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. And we're going to bring out the moose early, even before the game starts. We need good luck charms through and through. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this icon and legend. So every stream, we will dedicate it to the legend and the icon, Rick Riz. We love you. And we are just getting ready for first pitch here on Father's Day. Hope everyone has been able to enjoy the day so far. And I know that a lot of us are desperate for a victory. Jerry in the building, what's good? Sean is at the game. Awesome. Great environment there on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. And I hope you guys get to enjoy a victory there at T-Mobile. Hawks in the building, what's good? Sean in the building, what's good? We got 2 Seans in the building. Let's go. Appreciate that, for people that, have sons and daughters, people that have, pups, whether they're girl pups or boy pups, regardless of what kind of father role that you are. If you're a stepdad, you're a dad to a son or a daughter, you're a stepdad. If you have a dad that's in heaven, any type of, father figure that you've had in your life, we want to make sure we're celebrating all the dads and all the forms that are out there here in 2026. Jack in the building, what's good? Hope you're okay, Jack. Car accidents definitely can be scary. I hope that you're doing a little bit better. And we are just getting ready here to start off on the first pitch. Logan Gilbert, 5-4 record with an ERA of 3.43. Started off 0-2 and has started to get a little bit better. We have confidence in Logan Gilbert. I wish we could say the same for Luis Castillo. And we obviously know George Kirby has been struggling lately. And hopefully we can get a good outing here out of Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. First pitch from Gilbert to Siegler. Takes a strike swinging right down the middle. 0-1 count. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Parker in the building. What's good? Try dance up. Let's go, M's. 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Good start here for Logan Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Siegler. 4-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour, right down the middle. Anthony Siegler on the mound. Anthony Siegler in the box. Logan Gilbert on the mound. See if we can get a few punch outs early and often. Magic number for the Mariners will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and we have to give up 3 runs or less. Obviously, we want Logan to give up 2 or less if possible. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 4-seam fastball, 99 miles an hour, painting the corner, but not getting the call. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Siegler. Let's go, Logan. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 1-2 pitch and got him. Let's go. Big strikeout looking. 4-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. I see you, Walter. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. Good start there for Logan Gilbert. Next up in the 2-hole. Center fielder, Cedon Rafaela. First pitch, high and inside, painting the corner and getting the strike. Looks like Logan is on one right now early. I like that. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Cedon Rafaela. Great start here for Logan Gilbert. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Red Sox and the Mariners. Must-win game for us. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler. Right up the middle. And not enough of time for Cole Young to make the 360 spin, and an infield single there for Rafaela. Just not enough time there for Cole Young. I mean, more times than not, he's going to end up making that play. But anytime you have to do a 360, sometimes the throw, won't be in time. Next up is Mickey Gasper. First pitch to Gasper, pops him up. Naylor is there, and that is 2 away. Nice job there by Josh Naylor. We want to try to have as many easy innings, as possible, especially the way that things have gone down in the last 2 games. Hasn't been pretty for us. Great job there by Naylor. Down goes Gasper. with the pop-up at first. Next up in the 4-hole, first baseman Wilson Contreras. Let's go M's. Let him know, Parker. Throw to first, and Rafaela is safe. And this is kind of the last day before we have a big heat wave in Oregon and Washington, where we're going to have 3 straight days of 90 and up temperatures. So definitely soaking in the good weather. That's a little bit cooler today, and it's going to be much hotter. Obviously, the next 3. First pitch in there to Contreras is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. We do have the day off tomorrow, and then we go on the road starting Tuesday to play the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, and those games will be on a little bit earlier, around 3:30, 3:40 Pacific, and I'm looking forward to those. 0-1 pitch to Contreras. Big swing and a miss. I like the start. Logan is on here early. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Red Sox and the Mariners. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-2 pitch, and it goes into the dirt. Wild pitch there by Gilbert, and Rafaela ends up stealing a bag and safe. We've had quite a few wild pitches, with Hancock yesterday, Jose Ferrer, and now with Logan Gilbert here in the first inning. We got to really limit, these wild pitches, regardless if they're 4-seam fastballs. Typically sweepers are the pitch that ends up, kind of getting a little away from the catcher. But we got to be able to try to do the best that we can here on Father's Day. 1-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Count still remains 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at second. Rafaela with 2 outs. Let's go, Logan. Lock in, baby. Let's go. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Wilson Contreras in the box. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Finish this inning. Let's keep this game at 0-0. Come on, Logan. It's been rough, the last 2 games. And again, this is going to be the first time all season where we're going to be going against 3 lefty starters in a row. And steps off the mound, takes a look at Rafaela at second, and makes no throw. One-two pitch from Gilbert. Low and at the knees. Good smother job there by Cal, preventing Rafaela from going from second to third. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second. Rafaela with 2 outs. Top of the first inning. 0-0 here early between the Red Sox and Mariners on Father's Day 2026. 2-2 pitch. Popped him up. And out of play. 4-seam fastball. 98 miles an hour. High and inside. Tried to jam the hitter and did. Beautiful, cool summer day there at T-Mobile. Got some great weather in Oregon and Washington here today before the big heat wave. Lots of 4-seam fastball here early by Logan Gilbert with a little slider mixed in between. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And that's the punch out that we were looking for. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. Keep that runner stranded at second, and that is out number 3. Great job there by Logan, and let's see if we can get going here early and often. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop today, giving Colt Emerson a day off, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, catching today, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, playing center field, it's J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. And I assume at some point or another, it is possible that we could see Colt Emerson pinch hit before this game is over. Especially coming in for Wilson at third. That could definitely be a possibility later on in the game, and we may need him to. And on the mound for the Red Sox, with a 3-4 record, ERA of 2.93, Peyton Tolley. 66 subs to go to 24,400. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train here on Father's Day. And let's see where we're at on the likes here so far. We're at 23, good start. 77 to 100. 39 and 39, 21 and 19 at home for the Mariners. And obviously 31 and 43 for Boston, 19 and 18 on the road. But again, you know, the thing that we struggle at the most is left-handed pitching. And, you know, we've definitely gotten roughed up in the first two games, but we got to find a way to, you know, just to get this dub, any means necessary. It doesn't really make any sense where Rob Refsnyder is playing DH when he's our worst player on the team and can't hit. And then we got Weston Wilson at third. So we only have 2 weak links out of 9 rather than 3 in the last couple games. But you never know. Maybe Rob and Wilson will be able to do something here today. First pitch from Tolley to Crawford, low and away to the most patient hitter on the team, J.P. Crawford. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch from Tolley. Crushed into left field, fading foul. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Tolley to Crawford. Come on, JP. 1-1 pitch, and Crawford lines out to first, and that is 1 away. Down goes JP. Next up in the 2-hole, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. First pitch to Cal Raleigh, pops it up into a mile in foul territory towards first, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Work the count, Cal. If we want to be able to get these left-handed pitchers out of the game, you know, before the 7th or 8th inning, we're going to need guys to be able to work the count, get to pitch 4, pitch 5, pitch 6, and sometimes maybe even pitch 8, 9, or 10. We need help. Batting third, center fielder, it's J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. First pitch into Julio, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Four-seam fastball there by Peyton Tolley. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch from Tolley. Julio with a hard hit ball into deep center field. Back to the wall, and that is 3 up and 3 down. End of the first inning, 0-0 here early on Father's Day between the Red Sox and the Mariners. Now let's see who's up next here for Boston as we go to the top of the second. Next up for the Red Sox in the 5-hole, left fielder, Jarren Duran. Batting second in the 6-hole, third baseman, Caleb Durbin. And batting third in the 7-hole, shortstop, Marcelo Mayer. And on the mound for the Mariners, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 5-4 record. Started off the year 0-2, so starting to get back on track. ERA of 3.43. It is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. Try to ends up. Let's go, M's. $66 subs to go to 24,400. Shout out to our female audience as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond, as well as all our new subs that we've acquired recently. $27 likes now, 73 to 100. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. End of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Red Sox and the Mariners. Happy Father's Day, everyone. All right, let's go, Logan. First pitch in there to Jaron Duran. Takes a strike looking with a four-seam fastball right down the middle. 0-1 count. Gilbert on the mound. Jaron Duran in the box. 0-1 pitch to Duran. Big foul tip swing right into Cal's mitt. Behind in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Duran. Gilbert on the mound. Jaron Duran in the box. 0-2 pitch from Gilbert. Popped up and out of play. Four-seam fastball, 99 miles an hour, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the second inning, 0-0 here early between the Red Sox and the Mariners. Red Sox won Game 1 and Game 2 in dominant fashion. 6-2 in Game 1, 5-1 in Game 2. This is a must-win game here on Father's Day. Little slow dribbler towards Josh Naylor at first. Toe tap on the bag, and that is 1 away. Great defense there by Josh Naylor. Duran grounds out to first. Naylor gets the job done. That's 1 up and 1 down. Next up in the 6 hole, third baseman Caleb Durbin. Dave in the building. What's good? Happy Father's Day. First pitch to Durbin, popped up and out of play. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike on the corner, low and away. Logan is locked in early, which is great. And again, hopefully he gives up 2 runs or less. But again, we need to get hits, we need to get RBIs, and we need to get the left-hander out of the game as soon as possible. It's been rough in these last 2 games. 0-2 pitch. Popped him up and out of play. Change up there by Logan Gilbert. Tried to jam the hitter high and inside and did. Change up 84 miles an hour, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the second inning, 0-0 here early between the Red Sox and Mariners on Father's Day 2026. 0-2 pitch from Gilbert. Hard hit ball into right field, a laser and foul. Got to keep your head on a swivel. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour right down the middle there by Logan Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. See if Gilbert can get this punch out here. We need him to be as dominant as possible, considering the hitting has been very lackluster in these last 2 games, going against left-handed pitching for a majority of these games. And, lefty pitching is our kryptonite. We don't have our best lineup in. And again, like having Rob Refsnyder at DH, make it make sense. He's the worst hitter on the team. Just because he's a righty doesn't mean that he deserves to play. 1-2 pitch, and he goes around, and that is 2 away. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert. Great job, Logan. Next up in the 7 hole, shortstop Marcelo Mayer. Mike in the building, what's good? First pitch there to Marcelo Mayer is in there for a strike, low and away. Logan's painting the corners beautifully today. We don't need to necessarily try to go down the middle and intimidate the hitters. Obviously more times than not, if you go down the middle too often, it's going to turn into big home runs and big RBIs. So you're going to have to try to paint the corners as best as you can. And there has been a few wild, pitches by Logan early, but for the most part, he's looked pretty locked in. Pitches low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Mayer. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. Painting that corner beautifully. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marcelo Mayer. Get the punch out, Logan. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Let's go. Beautiful punch out there by Logan Gilbert. And that is out number 3. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second inning, and let's get on the board. We got to get on the board early and often, especially after these last two games, losing 6-2 and 5-1. It's been miserable. Next up, in the 4-hole, first baseman, a guy that has been able to start rallies for us lately within the last couple weeks. It's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting second in the 5-hole, DHing Rob Refsnyder. Why? This should be Luke Raley. And that's why Dan Wilson isn't a good manager, period. And batting third in the 6-hole, right fielder Dominic Canzone. So we got two weak links in the lineup. We got Refsnyder, the worst hitter on the team, DHing. Why? Just because he's a right-handed hitter? Idiot. And then you got Weston Wilson at third. Obviously, I know at some point you got to give Colt Emerson a day off, but after losing those first two games, is this really the game that we should have Wilson playing with Refsnyder? We already went down this path. First two games, we've done it all year with the splits, and obviously with the piggyback and the splits, piggyback with the pitchers and the splits, going for more righty hitters against left-handed pitching, and then obviously more lefties against right-handed pitching. It doesn't work. Obviously against righties, we do the best. And again, hopefully Dan Wilson will learn, just because you're a right-handed hitter doesn't mean you're going to hit against a left-handed pitcher. Because even if our good players can't hit a left-handed pitcher, what would make you think that a worse player on the team, just because he's right-handed, is going to get big hits? And you never know. Maybe today's the day, after sucking for a majority of this season. But again, he is playing against his former team, and, maybe that'll bring some magic finally in this last game. We can only hope. Yeah, we're usually about a 500 ball club, no matter, who's on our team. And then usually in the second half of the season is where we really turn it up and we show out. Trident's up. Let's go M. 66 subs to go to 24,400. We're still looking for our first dono here on Father's Day. And we're at 38 likes, 62 to 100. Rafaela makes that catch on Naylor in deep center field, and that is one away. 38 likes, 62 to 100. We need guys to be able to work the count. We got to get that pitch count up on this lefty. Otherwise, he's going to go 7, 8, 9 innings. Next up is Rob Refsnyder. On deck is the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. It's like they should have never, deactivated Miles Mastrobuoni. Should have never went with Garver over Johnny Pareda. Just maddening. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Tolley to Rob Refsnyder. Haniger hasn't been on the team in years. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Tolley to Refsnyder. One-two pitch from Tolley. And Refsnyder pops it up. Shallow right field. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Next up, in the 6-hole, right fielder, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. We got to be able to get something going here. And he's been the second most patient hitter besides J.P. Crawford and one of the hottest hitters in baseball the last 3 weeks. First pitch in there for a strike from Tolley to Dominic Canzone, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, fouled off towards first base and out of play. Sinker at 96 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Peyton Tolley to Dominic Canzone. 0-2 pitch, fouled off and out of play with a cutter high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Tolley to Canzone. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. I think they sent him down to AAA. He's either on the bench or he's in AAA, but I think he's in AAA for the Tacoma Rainiers. And Dominic Canzone, deep hit ball, and gone! Let's go! Dominic Canzone getting the job done. And again, the hot streak continues. 1-0 Seattle. There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what happens. You know, you say, oh, he's a left-handed hitter. He can't hit left-handed pitching. My ass. That's why Luke Raley should be playing over Rob Refsnyder at DH. You know, how can you not let 2 of your best players on the team not play every day in Dominic Canzone and Luke Raley? It really does show you how bad of a manager Dan Wilson really is. You know, if you have these quality players, you play them no matter what. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher, it doesn't matter. You play your best players. You don't cater to a guy just because he's right-handed. Ridiculous. Great job there by Dom. 1-0 Seattle. Pitch fouled off there by Victor Robles. Right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes from Toley to Robles. And we needed that desperately. You know, we've only scored 2 runs in game 1, 1 run in game 2. And again, you know, it shows that, you know, lefty on lefties, it's not impossible. We know that lefty on lefties, it's harder, you know, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And I'd rather have Dominic Canzone, you know, going against a left-handed pitcher any day of the week and Luke Raley rather than any righty like Rob Refsnyder or some of those others like Connor Joe. 0-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 looking. And Robles is going to challenge. I don't know if you're going to win this, though. And it hits the corner, and that is confirmed, and that is out number 3. Yeah, well, we haven't scored 0 in any of these games so far. I mean, you know, 2 and 1, but obviously it took us into the 7th inning in game 1 to get our first hit. You know, Julio with a little bit of late inning dramatics with the home run, but it was a little too late. And then yesterday, another left-handed pitcher, you know, getting the best of us. And again, we got to be able to play to our strengths. And obviously we have a lot of weaknesses: base running, bullpen, sometimes pitching, and obviously hitting against left-handed, you know, throwers and gunslingers. But at least we got the job done today. Great job there by the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. All right, let's go to the top of the 3rd inning and see who's up next here for the Red Sox. Next up for the Red Sox in the 8-hole, catcher Connor Wong. Batting second in the 9-hole, right fielder tonight, Nick Eaton. And batting third, the former Brewer, now Red Sox, second baseman Anthony Siegler. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 5-4 record, ERA of 3.43 coming in, it is Logan Gilbert. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs. The key stat, 0 walks. He's got 4 Ks, great start. 29 pitches, 24 strikes with a 3.35 ERA. And then with Peyton Toley coming into the game with a 3-4 record, ERA of 2.93. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run. The home run by Dom moments ago. No walks, 1 K, 21 pitches, 17 strikes with a 2.98 ERA. Great job there by Dominic Canzone here on Father's Day 2026. Trident's up. Let's fucking go, M's. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Thank you so much. 65 subs to go to 24,400. Still waiting on our first dono on our dono train. And let's see where we're at on the likes, how close we are to 100 with 132 in the room. All right, we're at 47. We're about halfway there. $53 to 100. I agree, Dank. Little dribbler there. JP Crawford, throw to first, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Get down goes Connor Wong. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Canzone any day of the week. You could even combine Connor Joe, Rob Revsnyder, Mitch Garver into one player, and I still would want Canzone hitting. He's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball in the last 3 weeks, and again, Joe is terrible. I mean, but again, he's also playing a position that he normally doesn't play in left field, and he can't catch pop-ups. He lets balls go over his head, and again, there's no reason that Joe or Refsnyder should be on the team. We would be much better off with Masterboni and Pareda. Like, why are those guys not on the team right now? Makes you kind of wonder. The front office doesn't know what they're doing. 1-0 pitch, popped up and foul there by Nick Eaton. But even with all that said, sometimes we take the lower guy out of the two. It's maddening, but we're still going to be one of the best teams in the American League. And I feel really, the Yankees, the Mariners, and the Rays are the only 3 teams that have a, green, plus minus, that we've scored more runs than the opponents, and the rest of the teams have not. Hard hit ball, deep left field, back, gone! And Nick Eaton crushes that one into the upper deck. Wow, 409 feet, and the game is tied 1-1. And it's just kind of what happens to us, right? As soon as we celebrate and something good happens, more times than not, the other team responds immediately, and the Red Sox respond immediately with a home run of their own. We got one from Dominic Canzone, and then Nick Eaton says, I'm going to tie it up right here. And when you go right down the middle, sometimes things like that happen, and Eaton crushes it into the upper deck. 409 feet, 1-1, Red Sox and Mariners here on Father's Day. But hopefully Gilbert only gives up 2 runs or less, 3 at the max, because we don't really know what's going to happen with our bullpen. And right now our bullpen is kind of bootios, especially with no Brash, Criswell, or Vargas until August. And that's really going to hurt us, not having access to Brash and Criswell. So, I know that they don't want to call up Cade Anderson, but how long are you going to wait? 0-1 pitch. Popped him up. Shallow center field here. Julio is there, and that is 2 away. Good job there by Julio Rodriguez, as reliable as they come on defense there in the no-fly zone. Great job, Julio. And next up in the 2-hole, center fielder Cedon Rafaela. 1-1 tie here early with 2 solo dingers, one by Dominic Canzone, one by Nick Eaton. And it's 1-1 here on Father's Day, 2026. TJ in the building, what's good? First pitch in there, Rafaela is a slider right down the middle, 0-1 count. And again, Logan was doing pretty good painting the corners, and just as he tries to go down the middle, and again, you got to be very careful, going down the middle. It doesn't matter if it's a one hitter leading off, someone that has power in the 2 and the 3, or if it ends up being someone in the 9-hole. I mean, if you go right down the middle, even 9-hole hitters can hit home runs, and they've proven that against the Mariners throughout this whole year. Oh, 0-2 pitch from Gilbert. Hard hit ball into right field and fading foul. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Rafaela. Yeah, Nate Eaton. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Not sure why I had it in there as Nick. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 3rd and see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners in the 8-hole, third baseman, formerly of the Baltimore Orioles, Weston Wilson. Batting second in the 9-hole, second baseman, Cole Clutch Young. And batting third, back at the top of the order, 0 for 1, playing shortstop today, giving Colt Emerson the day off, J.P. Crawford. Right hands up, let's go M's. Solo dinger by Canzone. Solo dinger there by Eaton. 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the third inning. 65 subs to go to 24,400. Long is challenging. Call is overturned. No balls and 1 strike from Tolley to Wilson. 0-1 pitch fouled off behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes from Tolley to Wilson. 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Throw to first. And that is 1 away. Next up is the 9-hole hitter, second baseman, Cole Clutch Young. Peyton Tolley on the mound. Cole Clutch Young in the box. First pitch into Young is low and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch from Tolley. Fouled back to the T-Mobile bricks. 4-seam fastball there by Tolley with some good velocity. 97 miles an hour, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the third inning, 1-1, Red Sox and Mariners. 1-1 pitch, low and away. Cutter, 89 miles an hour, missing the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the third, 1-1, Red Sox and Mariners here on Father's Day 2026. 2-1 pitch, a little slow dribbler, flip back to the pitcher, toe tap on the bag, just in time, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, back at the leadoff spot, playing shortstop today for Colt Emerson, J.P. Crawford. Especially with all of our downfalls, against left-handed pitching, you should have had Emerson, playing today as well as Luke Raley, but hopefully they'll go to a righty and we'll get both of those guys in at some point before the game is over. First pitch is high and away to J.P. Crawford, the most patient player on the team, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch from Tolley. Little dribbler up the middle. Throw to first. And that is 3 up and 3 down. Good inning there by Tolley and the Red Sox. And let's see who's up next here for Boston as we go to the top of the 4th inning. End of the third, 1-1, Red Sox and Mariners here on Father's Day. Next up for the Red Sox, 0 for 1 in the 3-hole, DHing Mickey Gasper. Batting second in the 4-hole, first baseman Wilson Contreras. And batting third in the 5-hole, left fielder 0 for 1, Jarren Duran. 65 subs to go to 24,400. Let's see how close we are to 100 likes with 143 in the room here on Father's Day 2026. We're at 55, so we're around the halfway point, 45 to go. And we have tomorrow off, and then we go on the road to play the Pirates starting on Tuesday. And I believe it'll be around 3:30, 3:40 Pacific, so set your schedules accordingly. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. End of the third inning, 1-1 Red Sox and Mariners. And if you're just tuning in, Dominic Canzone homering to left field, 348 feet, 1-0 Mariners. And then we ended up having a big home run there by Nate Eaton, 409 feet, a double-decker home run, 409 feet to left, and that makes it a 1-1 tie. First pitch is high and inside from Gilbert to Gasper. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to find a way to prevent from getting swept, so that way we can at least have an above 500 record as we go on the road to Pittsburgh. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Gasper. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 2-0 pitch from Gilbert. High and inside. Count now is 3 balls and no strikes to Mickey Gasper. Come on, Logan. Lock in. We want Logan to give up 2 runs or less. Considering, hitting against left-handed pitching has not been ideal. Definitely is our kryptonite. And our bullpen isn't playing that well lately either, which is not ideal. 3-0 pitch. And that ends up being a 4-pitch walk. Mickey Gasper going to first. Next up in the 4-hole, first baseman Wilson Contreras. On deck is Jarren Duran. Come on, Logan. Lock in, baby. Let's go. First pitch fouled off, low and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the 4th inning, 1-1 Red Sox and Mariners here on Father's Day. Logan Gilbert on the mound, Wilson Contreras in the box. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first with no outs. We need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. Let's go. 0-2 pitch, popped him up, and out of play for Contreras. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and no outs. Top of the 4th, 1-1 Red Sox and Mariners. Come on, Logan. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Mariners so far in a pitcher's duel. 0-2 pitch from Gilbert. Little dribbler up the middle. Double play, throw to first. Got him. Let's go. You ask for a double play, you get a double play. Great job. There we go. Down goes Contreras. Next up is Jarren Duran. And again, with the way that things have been going for the Mariners, we can, get all the help, that we can get, especially defensively. Pitching has been kind of hit or miss. The bullpen has been bad. We can't hit lately against lefties. Thankfully, Dominic Canzone was able to get a home run, so that way we're not down 1-0. And again, magic number for us in every game, regardless if it's righty or lefty, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if we're able to hit that number with our pitching, more times than not, that, doesn't necessarily give us a win every time, but it usually gives us a great chance to compete late in the game. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Jarren Duran. 1-1 pitch from Gilbert. Popped him up behind the plate and out of play towards the T-Mobile bricks. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Duran. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. And we'll take that Mariner Moose early and often. We need all the Soto mojo that we can get. Let's go. Come on, Gilbert. Finish strong. Let's go. 1-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Change up missing there by Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jarren Duran. Two pitch, popped up and fading out of play in left field. Good souvenir for that fan. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by Gilbert. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 4th, we're tied at 1. See if Gilbert can get this punch out, pop up, or ground ball out here on this next pitch. Come on, Gilbert. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Let's go. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. You ask for the double play and the punch out, and you get it. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. Let's look at the stat line right now. Gilbert, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run. The home run when he went right down the middle. He hasn't done it really since. 1 walk, 5 Ks, 54 pitches, 42 strikes, 3.38 ERA. Great job there by Logan. And then on the flip side with Peyton Tolley, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no walks, 1 K, which is surprising. 30 pitches, 23 strikes with a 2.93 ERA. And let's see if we can get a little bit more here on Tolley. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Next up, 0 for 1, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second in the 3-hole, center fielder, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 0 for 1, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Great, 3 batters to kind of get a rally going, and hopefully Cal can start it off for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 4th. $65 subs to go to 24,400. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train here on Father's Day. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We're getting closer. We're at 60, 40 more to get to 100. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all our new subs and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. 50th year anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this legend and icon, and we dedicate every stream to this legend, Rick Riz. We love you. First pitch to Cal Raleigh, little dribbler towards third, and foul, 0-1 count. And we need a lot of our players to be like JP and Dom, be a little bit more patient in the box, instead of just, getting out within the first 3 pitches. It's killing us. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball and out of play. And I get it. We have a lot of aggressive hitters, like Cal and Julio and Naylor and Randy Arozarena that love to be able to try to get that, first pitch strike down the middle. But a lot of times that first pitch isn't going to be down the middle by a lot of these pitchers. It may have been that way years ago, but things have kind of changed where pitchers try to bait you on swinging on a bad pitch on pitch 1 and then give you a good pitch on pitch number 2, and then you foul that one off. And then all of a sudden, you're in an 0-2 count. And most of the time when Mariner players get in an 0-2 count, it leads to a strikeout. Or a pop-up or ground out. So we got to be able to dig deep here. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, just like I was saying. And that is 1 away. Down goes Cal Raleigh. Got to be more patient, my guy. Next up, in the 3-hole, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. On deck is Josh Naylor. First pitch from Tolley inside to Julio Rodriguez, 1-0 count. And we We definitely need Julio to start getting a little bit more patient like he was at the, not necessarily at the very beginning of the year, because as we know, Julio, Cal, and Naylor were terrible in the first 10 games, and we were the worst hitting team in baseball, batting 188 as a team. Now we're normally in that 220 to 250 range, so we're a lot better, than where we were, but still we got a long ways to go. Pitch is inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. 2-1 pitch, low and away. Good eye there by Julio. 3-0 counts and 3-1 counts is what you try to go for. And now we got a 3-1 count for Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up. Let's go M's. 3-1 pitch. Great at bat. That's what I'm talking about. Not only do you get the pitch count up, but then you actually force a walk. Great job there by Julio Rodriguez. I love it. And let's see if we can get Julio to steal a bag and get to second base. But we want to make sure that he does it at the right time. Our base running has been terrible this year. Not by just Julio, but by everyone. All right, next up, first baseman Josh Naylor. Let's see if we can get an RBI or a home run here. Let's go Naylor. First pitch to Naylor is low and away, 1-0 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Bottom of the 4th inning, we're tied at 1 with Julio at first, Naylor in the box with 1 out. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. Good take here by Naylor. Starting to show a little patience here as well. 2 balls and no strikes from Tolle to Naylor. Happy early birthday. We will have the day off tomorrow, but we will be back on the channel on Tuesday. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking, low and away. Cutter 87 miles an hour there by Peyton Tolle. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner at first, Julio Rodriguez with 1 out. We're tied at 1 with solo dingers by Canzone and Eaton, respectively. And we're on the bottom of the 4th with 1 out here on Father's Day. 2-1 pitch, high and away. It looks like Tolle's starting to have a little bit of a meltdown. If we can just, be patient, we can force a couple walks, and that eventually will be able to hopefully cash in with a big RBI or home run if we're patient enough. 3 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. Let's see if Naylor can draw a walk like Julio did, unless he gets a hold of one right down the middle. 3-1 pitch. Inside, almost hits Naylor, and just like that, that is back-to-back walks, a little mini meltdown by Peyton Tolle. I love it. Let's go. And we weren't really able to do that against the lefties yesterday and Suarez the day before. So good patience there by Julio Rodriguez, drawing a walk on a 3-1 count. And the same thing with Naylor on a 3-1 count, almost getting hit there. But now this should be Luke Raley, but instead it's Rob Refsnyder. And, this is why Dan Wilson needs to be replaced. I wish it was like Ichiro Suzuki, managing this team. If Ichiro was managing the team, he might be able to get Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. to put their photography careers on hold and help this team, get to a World Series and get over the hump. But Dan clearly is, a guy that likes to play it safe. And again, sometimes the analytics are wrong. Him and Scott Service are almost identical, based off style of managing the Mariners. We need to find someone better, more, like a Lou Piniella type. But let's see if we can get the job done here by Rob Refsnyder. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Absolutely don't hit into the double play. 131 average, 3 homers and 9 ribbies on the season. Why is he DHing? Because he's a righty, little slow dribbler towards third. And in time. And did they end up getting the double play there? Or is it just 2 away? Let's look to see. So it looks like they got the double play from that step at third and at first, and exactly what I didn't want to happen, Refsnyder did. And that's why it should have been Luke Raley there. And Luke Raley could have ended up, hitting into a double play as well, but you have a better chance to win the game when Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone are playing every day. And then we had a great at-bat by Julio, a great at-bat by Josh Naylor, and a wasted at-bat there by Rob Refsnyder. And again, the drive stalls. It's just, how many games in a row are we going to play like this until, Dan makes a change? I mean, ultimately, we're going to have to fire him. And then hopefully we find someone that can be smarter to understand that you play the best 9 players every day. You don't just play a righty lineup against a lefty pitcher, because it doesn't work for us. We're not able, even sometimes with our great hitters, we have a hard time with left-handed pitching, whether they're lefties, like Naylor, or righties like Julio, right? So what makes you think, that Rob Refsnyder, the worst hitter on the team, and sometimes they even have him lead off. Like, Dan is very out of touch, on how to manage baseball. He might have been a decent catcher for the Mariners, and I'll give him that. But as far as a manager and a managing style, he's fucking terrible. And again, if we actually had a better manager, even with all of the injuries that we have right now, we would be a minimum of 5 to 6 games above 500 if we actually just played our best players every day. Facts. But again, they're not willing to say, oh, we messed up, bringing on Connor Joe and Rob Refsnyder. And instead of, letting these guys go or sending them to AAA, but then what do? They end up trying to deactivate Miles Mastrobuoni. They send Pareda to AAA instead of Mitch Garver. It's like, when you have 2 options and there's a guy that's better, keep the better option, not the weaker option. Come on, Dan. End of the 4th inning, 1-1, Sox and Mariners. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, how many games have we lost this year if we just had a better lineup? You have a better chance. I mean, even Canzone proved that today, that he can hit a home run off left-handed pitching, and he did. Luke Raley could do the same. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman Caleb Durbin making that great double play at third. And on deck is Marcelo Mayer. First pitch in the middle to Caleb Durbin, in there for a strike with the slider, 0-1 count. Today feels better because we're actually 1-1 right now. Logan's pitching well. We don't really know what's going to happen with our bullpen, but again, if we can get Luke Raley into the game, or Colt Emerson, unless they're just giving Colt the day off completely, we just need our best players to be playing every day. And if we're able to do that, that gives us a higher probability of winning, and being able to come up with that big unexpected home run or big RBI. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, has confidence in Mitch Garver, Connor Joe, or Rob Refsnyder. I mean, hell, all 3 of those guys aren't even good enough to be on the fucking team. They're not even good enough to be on fucking AAA. They shouldn't even be in our fucking organization. They're terrible. Pareda's a hell of a lot better than Garver. Connor Joe can't even fucking play defense, let alone hit. And Refsnyder is a worse version of Dylan Moore. Even a moron can fucking see that. That doesn't even understand baseball. And again, it's just frustrating. Got to be better. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caleb Durbin. But we will be better in the second half of the season. Once we get Randy Arozarena back, once we get Brandon Donovan back, it's going to look a little bit better. But, with the injuries to Carlos Vargas not playing pretty much the whole year, not getting him back until August, as well as Cooper Criswell and Matt Brash, that's really going to sting. And again, we got Hoppy and Rucker and Nick Davila, AAA guys, Jose Ferrer, I can't trust you. Gabe Spire and Bizzardo are good half of the time. Kate Anderson has given up 1 run in a month. 1 run in a month in 1 single inning. It's about time that you call him up to bail us out, unless you just want to continue to fucking struggle. But the Mariners front office is not very bright. They definitely need better people, running this team. 3-2 pitch, little dribbler there that flies to Victor Robles, and a single there from Durbin. But we need to get rid of Dipoto. We need to get rid of fucking Dan Wilson. I mean, again, we still may be able to make the World Series or the ALCS with what we have with Dipoto and Wilson. But again, you want to be able to have baseball guys, and clearly these guys don't know what they're doing. Top of the 5th inning, runner at first with no outs. And again, this is the most injuries we've had in 40 years, and it hasn't even been a full season. We're only halfway through, and I've never seen a team more beat up than this Mariner team this year. And we have to be thankful that we're at 500. We could easily be 10 to 15 games below 500, kind of similar to what the Red Sox record is, or even worse. So I guess we have to be thankful that we are still, hovering at first place, even though the A's and the Rangers have been there early in the year. We have a lot of talent, but again, it's just about making those decisions on a good player and a bad player and deciding to keep the bad player instead of the good. Make it make sense. 1 ball and 1 strike to Marcelo Mayer. Come on, Logan. Throw to first. Got him! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. What a throw by Gilbert. See you later. Durbin, after making the double play, gets a little cocky there at first, leaning towards second, and Gilbert with a laser, Naylor with the tag, and again, normally that's us, right? That gets caught at first base. Randy leaning, dancing at first base, and then falling asleep, and finally it actually comes to the Mariners' favor, and we actually get someone thrown out at first. Great job there by the Mariners. Vargas has been hurt all year, so he hasn't even been available for us. But Luke Raley is day-to-day. Brendan Donovan should be back around July 7th, but we're not going to see and Randy Arozarena around June 23rd. It could be as early as the next series, as we're getting closer and closer to that date. 1-2 pitch is foul. But again, we ended up having Brash is out until the trade deadline, as well as Cooper Criswell and Carlos Vargas, who hasn't even played a game this year. So all 3 guys are not going to be available until about August, which is really going to hurt us. We need bullpen help. Got to get rid of Castillo. Get another bullpen pitcher. 1-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. And Castillo is so fucking bad. He's not even good enough to keep on the team as a bullpen guy. He's a guy that just gives up 1 to 4 runs, sometimes in a half inning. Every once in a blue moon, he'll get, a couple innings with, no runs. But again, he's just not trustworthy. And piggybacking off Bryce Miller ain't working. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Beautiful splitter there by Logan, and that is 2 away. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. Down goes Marcelo Mayer. Big swing and a miss. High and away. Next up in the 8-hole, catcher Connor Wong. First pitch is high and away to Wong. 1-0 count. But it really does show you how desperately we miss Brendan Donovan. When he's our leadoff hitter, that's the best version of the Mariners. How desperately we miss Randy Arozarena, who is the best hitter, on the team, even though he's suspect on ground balls in left field and hustle. And then the first time that he actually hustles to first base, what happens? He pulls a fucking hammy, But again, we definitely miss Donnie and Randy, and, we haven't had Luke Raley on the regular, and we need to be able to start playing guys on a regular basis and hope the injuries stop. 1-1 pitch popped up into left. And J.P. Crawford calls off Victor Robles at the last second, and that is out number 3. Good job there by the Mariners. We got a home run by Dom, home run by Eaton, but we need more. And let's see if Dom can hit another home run. I mean, hell, we might need Dom to have one of those games where he just goes off like he did, obviously, in the last 3 weeks. He's been very dominant, and he needs to be playing every day like Luke Raley. Nobody wants to see Rob Refsnyder, Connor Joe, Mitch Garver, or fucking Weston Wilson. Why would you trade and bring in Weston Wilson for Miles Mastroboni after Mastroboni played well? They don't have a pulse on who's good and who's not on this team. It's just maddening. All right, next up for the Mariners, 1-for-1 with a run RBI, the guy that got us in the game. It's the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. We might need another bomb from you. Batting second, 0-for-1 with a K, left fielder, Victor Robles. And batting third, 0-for-1 in the 8-hole, the former Oriole, third baseman, Weston Wilson. Not to be confused with Will Wilson, who's on the injured list. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 65 subs to go, do 24,400. Still waiting for our first dono on our dono train, and let's see where we're at on the likes with 186 in the room, how close we are to 100. We're at 72. We're almost there. 72 likes, 28 to 100. We can get 28 people out of the 188. We will be at 100. Yeah, Miles is not on the team right now. They decided to go with Weston Wilson instead. So what they did is they put Masterboni designated for assignment, which means they have a week to decide if you want to trade him, if you want to send him to the minors, if you want to release him. And the smart thing to do, if he's not going to be on the Mariner roster, send him to AAA and then have him come back to the team. Masterboni is too good of a player just to let go and treat him like trash, you know? Garver stinks. Pareda should be on the team instead of Garver. Masterboni is a hell of a lot better than Refsnyder and Connor Joe, but for whatever dumbass reason, you know, we keep these shitty players on the team and we let quality players walk or get cut. It's just fucking stupid. First pitch in there to Dominic Canzone, 1-0 count. But I'm, you know, even though the Mariner front office is dumb, I don't think they're as dumb to let Masterboni get cut. And line drive and caught in right field. Dominic Canzone getting robbed of a double, and that is 1 away. Eaton with a big diving catch there in right field, robbing Dom of a double. That's tough. Down goes the Italian Stallion, and that is 1 away. Next up is Victor Robles, and I would like to see the Mariners bunt, you know, especially if we have a hard time hitting. Why are we not bunting? You know, nobody practices bunting defense. Everyone runs around with a chicken with their head cut off, pitchers and infield included. The throws to first on a bunt usually aren't good, you know, and again, sometimes you can even get a double off a bunt, but I guess teams are too dumb to realize bunting works more times than not. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball, deep left field. Back to the warning track, and that is 2 away. Robles flies out to left to Jarren Duran, 2 up and 2 down. Next up in the 8 hole, third baseman Weston Wilson. And Wilson with a hard hit ball there into left. There we go. Look at that. Weston Wilson. And that's the individual that they decided to keep, you know, at least temporarily, since we're going against 3 lefties, thinking that he could be better than Masterboni. But he finally gets a hit in a Seattle Mariner uniform. Nice job there by Weston Wilson with a hard hit ball into left field. Still a crappy player, though. You know, doesn't deserve to be on the team, but, you know, nice job getting a hit. Next up in the 9 hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's see if we can get a 2-out rally going. Let's go, Cole. Bottom of the 5th, runner at first, Wilson with 2 outs. And Wilson with a stolen bag. There you go. Make the most of your opportunity. You know, if you're going to be one of those bottom guys, you know. And again, we don't really know if Wilson is better than Refsnyder, you know, Garver or Joe, because he just came to the team. But, you know, got a hit, got a stolen bag. We'll take it. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off there by Cole Clutch Young. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at second. Weston Wilson, the new addition there from the Orioles, at second base with 2 outs. Let's see if Cole can get an RBI to bring Weston home. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. Sinker almost hitting Cole Young. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cole Clutch Young. Right ends up. Let's go, M's. 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike looking. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Tolley to Young. You know, and it's one thing to complain, oh, you know, we didn't get enough bullpen help, or we didn't get rid of Castillo, you know, and all these other things. But again, you know, it's about who's on the team, and if you have a good option or a bad option, and then we always go with the bad option, the worst option of the two. You know, like no one thinks that Pareda is worse than Garver. Everyone knows Pareda is a better hitter and a better catcher than Garver, but what do? Send Pareda to AAA and keep Garver. Stupid, right? Masterboni is better than Joe Refsnyder and some of these others like Weston Wilson, but what do? They deactivate and, designated for assignment for Masterboni after he came in for Bliss, and Bliss played pretty good for 2 games, you know, coming from AAA, helping us beat the Orioles in Baltimore, and then we got Masterboni over him, but the reason they did that, because Masterboni can play more positions than Bliss, so okay with that. That was okay of a move, but, you know, designated for assignment for Masterboni was fucking stupid. And hopefully they'll have him back on the team, and he'll be back on the roster sooner than later. You know, I honestly think that not only could I manage this team better, I think a lot of fans could manage this team better. You know, you just don't play shitty players. You just play the best players day in and day out. Luke Raley, Dominic Canzone, every fucking day, regardless if it's left-handed pitching, and we would probably have 5 to 10 more wins, just based on doing that alone. Little dribbler up the middle, yes, and it skates through. Go, 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 Wilson, go, go, Wilson, yes, and Wilson scores. Big RBI by Cole Clutch Young. Here we go, 2-1 Mariners. Whoa! There we go. Weston Wilson making the best of his opportunity, and they don't call him Clutch for fucking no reason. Cole Clutch Young with a big RBI single, and Weston Wilson hustling from second base and sliding in all the way to home, head first, safe. 2-1 Seattle. Let's go. And I feel better vibes here today than we do in those first 2 games. Let's go. Next up is J.P. Crawford. Let's see if we can keep this rally going. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And again, we can't get fucking swept by this team, but again, we're not good against left-handed pitching on top of, having a manager that doesn't know what he's doing in Dan Wilson. 1-0 pitch popped up behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike from Tolley Crawford. Bottom of the 5th inning, runner at first with 2 outs, 2-1 Seattle. And our team is good enough to make the World Series in the ALCS with a shitty GM and a shitty manager. But imagine if we had a good GM and a good manager that actually knew fucking baseball. Little bunt, look at this, safe. And I've been saying it for fucking how long? If you bunt, right, it works. You can get singles, you can get doubles. Guys don't know how to defend a bunt because nobody practices bunting defense. And we finally bunt. I've been begging for it, obviously all series. And look at this, JP, beautiful bunt towards third. Can't even throw him out at first base. Let's go. Let's go. Great job there by JP Crawford. A bunt single. It's not sexy, to bunt. It's like offensive linemen in the NFL and college football. When you draft an offensive lineman, when there's all these flashy quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers and linebackers and safeties, and then all of a sudden your favorite team drafts an O-lineman, you're like, God damn, really? But if the guy ends up being an amazing player, that's going to help you run, throw, defend, obviously the pass and the run better, and it'll help you win. Ultimately, what you're looking for is Super Bowl, and again, it may not be sexy to bunt like drafting an offensive lineman, but you need to do it if you want to be successful. Facts. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch to Cal, pops it up a mile, and out of play. If we can just get Cal, obviously getting a 3-run jack to give us a 5-1 lead would be fantastic. He hasn't homered since he came back from the injury, but he did have 5 home runs in the AAA Tacoma Rainiers in about a week. 2 multi-homer games. So he had a solo dinger, 2 jacks in another game, 2 jacks on the last, opportunity, and then got called up. So, we got to be able to see if Cal can get going. But again, he's been a little overly aggressive since he got called up. Obviously ended up having the game-winning RBI in his first game back with the team. But since then, a lot of pop-ups and a lot of strikeouts. Just, be patient. Let the game come to you. You're not going to hit fucking 60 home runs. You're probably going to hit 20, to 25. Just let the game come to you. Work the count. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler, up the middle. Throw to second for the fielder's choice and the force out, and that is out number 3. So we leave a couple stranded, but not after. Cole Clutch Young gets a big RBI, and Weston Wilson, the Oriole, scores from second base. 2-1 Mariners. Let's go. Happy Father's Day. End of the 5th inning, 2-1 Seattle. That's what I like to see, baby. See who's up next here for the Red Sox as we go to the top of the 6th. Next up, 1-for-1 with a home run, right fielder Nate Eaton. Batting second, the former Brewer, 0-for-2 with a K, second baseman Anthony Siegler. And batting third, 1-for-2, center fielder in the 2-hole, Cedon Rafaela. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Happy Father's Day 2026. $66 subs to go to 24,400. And let's see how close we are to 100 likes. We're at 79. We're almost there. 21 to 100. We can get 21 people to hit that like button out of the 197. We'll be at our goal. Small ball does help win games, and again, it's like how can fans be better managers than an actual professional manager? Make it make sense, and again, if we could finally, get rid of Dipoto, get rid of Dan Wilson, and find guys that are capable of taking this team to the next level, you've got to be able to have a competent GM and a manager, more like a Lou Piniella rather than a guy that's trying to be best friends with everyone on the team like Scott Service and Dan Wilson. They have too passive of personalities. We need someone that has a little bit of fire in their belly, that's willing to get fucking ejected and yell a little bit, but not to be a disciplinarian and yell all the time for no reason, but to get fired up once in a while and, to be feared and respected, not only by the teammates, but, by, his peers. And again, I'm really hoping one day that we can get someone like that. And if we're not able to get a Lou Piniella type, try to get someone like Ichiro. You have Ichiro at a manager, I guarantee we win a hell of a lot more games than we are right now with what we have, because I think he's smart enough to understand how to manage this team, even though he's never had any managing experience. But I think Ichiro would be a hell of a lot better. He probably would be able to get Griffey and Randy Johnson to put that photography career on hold. And imagine if you had Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson, and Ken Griffey Jr. in the dugout. I probably would assume that things would be a little bit better than what we have right now. Top of the 6th inning, 2-1 Seattle. Not to say that all those things would happen, but, just imagine. First pitch is low and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Griffey and Edgar Martinez helping with the hitting, as well as Ichiro for the leadoff hitters, right? Randy Johnson helping the pitchers. I mean, our pitching staff already has great coaches, but to get all those Hall of Famers together would be special. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Eaton. Now, magic number, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and again, even when we end up having a 1-run lead, if a guy like Mooney comes in, a lot of times we can be up 2-1 or tied 1-1, and then he gives up a run or two. So you got to be able to have 2 runs, or 3 or more to, I don't even really say comfortable, but, to win games, it's like you have to have more than a 2-run lead, to feel pretty good. Because if you only got a 1-run lead like right now, and let's say this is the score in the 9th inning, there's no guarantee Mooney can keep it 2-1. It could end up being 2-2 or 3-2 Red Sox after he's done. So hasn't been very reliable this year. 3-1 pitch, and that ends up being a walk to Nate Eaton. But again, Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson are both professional photographers that not only do baseball, but do like rock concerts. They do, golf and tennis and basketball and football. I mean, they do everything. Randy Johnson even does like nature photography. Both of them are really, really good. It's one thing to say, hey, I'm a photographer, but to be actually really good at it, both of them are. And they obviously have the credentials. If you haven't looked them up, definitely look up their work. They're very, very good. First pitch from Gilbert to Siegler, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. And runner gets into second, safe. Siegler in the box, Logan Gilbert on the mound. Finish strong, Logan. Yeah, and you can't turn yourself, into a Lou Piniella, type. It's either you got it, it's like, people that have that swagger and that confidence and that aura, you're born with it. You either got it or you don't. It's not something that you teach, and then all of a sudden you turn your personality from one to another. It's either you're one type of personality or another, and again, for me, Dan and Scott, they're too soft. You know, and they don't get fired up enough. You know what I mean? They try to make everyone happy. Sometimes you got to be able to be real with people. You know, guys like Rob Refsnyder, Mitch Garver, Connor Joe, and to say, you guys aren't good enough to be playing, you know, even though I want to play you, but I can't, you know. And obviously the fans and others would respect that more than playing shitty players against left-handed pitching all the time. (2-1) Seattle. Got to keep it going. Runner at second now with one out. Down goes Siegler with the strikeout swinging. Great job there by Logan, and that is one away. First pitch to Rafaela, high and away with a four-seam fastball. 1-0 count. One-zero pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Rafaela. You know, but I kind of feel like Scott Service and Dan Wilson are the same kind of guy. You know, it's like we didn't really make that much of an improvement besides the fact that, you know, Dan Wilson was a former catcher, you know, in that Randy Johnson era. But just because someone is a former player doesn't mean they're going to be a good manager, you know. But unfortunately, a lot of the managers in baseball are former players, regardless if they were good or bad, you know. Just kind of a rotating door of talent that get hired and fired. As we got a few bodies warming up in the pen, Gabe Spire and Eduard Bizardo. 2-1 pitch. Tries to jam him, popped it up behind the plate to the T-Mobile bricks and foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cedon Rafaela. You know, we just need, you know, people that have good baseball IQ. You know, and again, we have the talent to still go deep, even with, you know, below average GMs and managers, you know, because again, we've proven, you know, that with the talent that we have, we can make deep runs because we have a pretty deep team with a lot of talent, and the front office has made some pretty good moves the last couple years, you know. But with that being said, once we construct our team and we have options for a good player or a bad player, it seems like they always stick with the worst one. Like, why would you stick with Mitch Garver over Johnny Pereda, as good as Johnny is as a hitter and obviously as a catcher? You know, there's no person on planet Earth that thinks that Garver is better than Pereda. And what does the management do? They stick with Garver. You know, just because he's got a little bit more experience, he's not a better catcher than Pereda, you know, and that's, you know, you either know that or you don't, you know. And Connor Joe can't defend, you know, fly balls, you know, and he can't hit. Refsnyder's garbage. But for whatever reason, those guys are still on the team, and Johnny Pereda and Miles Mastrobuoni are not, you know. Make it make sense. I mean, this isn't fucking Little League. You know, this team is not a bottom feeder. You know, this team actually could make a World Series. You know, even though if the Dodgers make it, if they get Skubal, they'll probably, you know, go for a three-peat and whatnot. But, you know, we still have as good of a chance as the Yankees to make it. 2-2 pitch, hard hit ball, shallow right field, diving catch. Dominic Canzone. Double play. Woo! Let's go. Dom doing it on offense. Dom doing it on defense. But Dan Wilson doesn't think Dom and Luke Raley should play every day against lefties. Give me a break. Great job there by Dom. Dom is doing everything here today. Great job with the double play there by Dominic Canzone with the diving catch. And normally, you know, we want Victor Robles in right, and we know Victor can do that as well. But again, play Luke Raley, play Dominic Canzone every day, and see what happens. But, you know, apparently Dan is too stupid to realize that. Great job there by the Italian Stallion. 2-1 Seattle. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Rafaela lines into the double play. Eaton is doubled up. And let's see if we can get another run or two on the board. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third, 0 for 2 in the 5-hole, DHing Rob Refsnyder. Like, make it make sense. If you're going to play Rob Refsnyder, never have him lead off. And we've seen him lead off, whether it's at DH or right field many times this season. It doesn't work. And then in a game like this, after we've got blasted the last 2 games by left-handed pitching, and now we're going against left-handed pitching again, why the fuck would you put the worst hitter on the team at DH? I thought DH is supposed to be for someone like Edgar Martinez, or even guys like Jared Vogelback and, Carlos Santana, Mike Fords, Dominic Canzones, guys that actually can hit. You just want to squeeze another right-handed bat. And again, that type of managing style, it doesn't fucking work, and that's why, we still may be able to make an ALDS, ALCS, or World Series with Dan, but, he's just like Scott Service. He's just not smart enough and not good enough. We need, guys that understand the game. It's ridiculous. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez, line drive. Yes, let's go. Julio Rodriguez getting the job done. And here we go. Even though we're going against left-handed pitching, normally only getting a hit a game, look at that. 5 hits on left-handed pitching here today. Let's go. Great job there by Julio Rodriguez. Next up in the 4-hole, Josh Naylor. And at this point, if I'm managing the team, if Rob Refsnyder doesn't get on base in his first 2 at-bats, then his day is over. And then I bring in, Luke Raley or Dominic Canzone if they're not in, and let them get 2 or 3 at-bats for the rest of the game. You're hurting the team, by putting in a guy for a whole game going 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. We don't want wasted at-bats. But again, we'll see if we end up making a change after, Tolle ends up exiting. Bottom of the 6th, runner at first, Julio Rodriguez with no outs. Let's go, Nails. Dom is doing it for the dads, baby. Throw to first, and Julio is safe. Much better. This game today is 1,000 times better than the first 2 games in the series. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Mariner Moose. We want it, baby. Let's go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Tolle on the mound. Naylor in the box. And Peyton Tolle, let's see where he's at on the pitch count. Tolle's at 67. Gilbert's at 84. So, thankfully we have 5 hits, at this point. Otherwise, Tolle would probably go 8 innings today. 1-1 pitch from Tolle. High and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. It's like I never understood, why Dan Wilson treats Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone as like lower tier guys when they're 2 of the best players on the team this year. They deserve to play every day. Why are you treating them like scrubs? They're not Rob Refsnyder. They're not Connor Joe. They're not Mitch Garver. Why do you treat them like it? Especially when Luke Raley at one point was leading the team in home runs and RBIs, and Dom has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball in the last 3 weeks. Treat them as so. Don't treat them as scrubs. Treat them as, high-tier talent, as they are. 3-1 pitch, hard hit ball by Josh Naylor, deep center field, and caught, and that is 1 away. And Julio scampers back to first. The front office is just not willing to admit they made a mistake. When they sign someone in the offseason, they rarely cut them. They just drag on the player forever, instead of just cutting their ties and cutting their losses. But every once in a blue moon, Refsnyder will, get a home run or, something. But when you're batting 130, 3 home runs and 9 ribbies on the season, fucking terrible. Slightly better defender than Connor Joe, who's absolutely terrible. Refsnyder, can rob a home run in right field or play left field. But, just him being able to defend in the outfield is not good enough to be on the team. 0-1 pitch. Takes another strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Rob Refsnyder. Tolle on the mound, Refsnyder in the box. Imagine if we had Luke Raley when we had runners at first and second. We might end up being up 3-1 or 4-1 right now. Mariners challenge, call is overturned. 1 ball and 1 strike from Tolle to Refsnyder. Yeah, Dipoto needs to go. Dan Wilson needs to go. There's no doubt about that. Both of those guys need to go. 1-1 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Tolle to Refsnyder. But I guarantee if we would have played with our strong lineup every day this season, we'd be like 5 to 8 games above 500, you know. And again, there still would be games where we get roughed up and lose. But if we have Dom and Luke playing every day, and we don't see guys like Ref Snyder or Joe or Garver at all, and, you know, it's just Pareda and, you know, you have Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone playing against left-handed pitching, I guarantee that we get better numbers than what we've been with the splits. And obviously we know the piggyback shit doesn't work really either. But they're trying to save the bullpen because it's banged up. But it's not fair to guys like Bryce Miller, you know, who's our number one, and then you piggyback the worst pitcher, number 6, Castillo, and then we end up doing pretty good with Miller, and then the game gets away from us because Castillo is Bootios. Pitch fouled off high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Tolley to Ref Snyder, but I'll be happy when Ref Snyder, Joe, Castillo, and Garver aren't on the team next year. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Rob Ref Snyder. And it's kind of sad, but true. The best case scenario for Rob is him getting hit by a pitch or getting walked, you know, more times than not, unless in that one miracle at bat, he actually does something positive. But getting a hit once every 25 games isn't good enough. And line drive. Oh, look at that. An error. And that's how you end up getting on base. Ref Snyder has a hit, and we get a unexpected error by the Red Sox. Unbelievable. And there you go. You know, sometimes you have to have a miracle, and I guess there it is. Ref Snyder gets a hit that should have been a routine out, and for whatever reason, you can't come up with it, and you end up getting a big error there. We'll take it. We'll see if they actually count it as an error or not here. Exit velo was 100.6. Now we have runners at first and third with 1 out. I mean, unless you think getting a hit once every 25 games is good, but it is what it is. Next up is Dominic Canzone. Ref Snyder single to center, Julio to third with 1 out. Let's see if Dom can get a bomb, and then we can go up 5-1. Let's go, Dom. One of the hottest hitters in baseball in the last 3 weeks. First pitch, a little slow dribbler by Dominic Canzone. And run scores. 3-1. Mariners. Dom with an RBI. Let's go. Dom now is hobbling. Hopefully it's not a hammy. Seems like everyone is getting injured with these hammies. You know, Dominic Canzone, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, and Dom running a little gimpy there at first base. I don't know if it looks like he's grabbing his hammy there. Fuck, man. The last thing that we need is Dominic Canzone to be out for a minimal amount of time, and now he's limping, grabbing the hammy. Holy hell. Great job there by Dominic Canzone getting the home run and the RBI, but now he's probably going to be out for the rest of the game. Yikes. And the injuries keep piling up for the Seattle Mariners. Golly. Canzone grounds out to the shortstop, but Julio scores from third. Ref Snyder to second. Can we just stop it with the injuries? Gosh. I have never seen a Seattle Mariner team in 40 years of watching this team get beat up as much as we are. I mean, we need a new hitting coach, a new strength and conditioning coach. Robles, hard hit ball, deep left field, and caught, and that is out number 3. Ref Snyder stranded at second, but at least Dom ended up getting the RBI before he got hurt. 3-1 Seattle. Man, there's one player after another, and it would be one thing, you know, if it's just like scrubs getting hurt. You know, oh, Garver got hurt. Okay, whatever. You know, oh, Connor Joe got hurt. Whatever. Rob Ref Snyder got hurt, but of course, it's not those guys. It's guys like Brandon Donovan, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, Luke Raley, Dominic Canzone, like our fucking best players. Let's just pray that it ends up being just like a mini tweak of the hamstring like Julio, and maybe Dom only misses a game or 2. Let's go to the top of the 7th inning and see who's up next year for the Red Sox. But we definitely need a new strength and conditioning coach, a new hitting coach. Get rid of the GM, get rid of the manager. We just need to blow the shit up. And even with that being said, we're still good enough to make the World Series with what we have. You know, Yankees are good. The Rays and the Guardians and the White Sox are good. But, I mean, I feel like we're on the Yankee level, you know, but we have all these injuries, even though the Yankees have a much better record than us. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, DHing Mickey Gasper. And Luke Raley now goes to right field, filling in for Dominic Canzone. So at least we get Raley in, but we don't like seeing Dom leave the game after he's been the MVP so far. Batting second in the 4-hole, first baseman Wilson Contreras. And batting third in the 5-hole, left fielder Jarren Duran. Make the injuries stop, please. Let's get the Luke Rayleigh photo prepped. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 Mariners here on Father's Day. So Canzone ended up homering to left field, 348 feet, making it 1-0 Mariners. And then we ended up having Nate Eaton homering into the upper deck, 409 feet in the third, 1-1. And then thankfully, Cole Clutch Young singled to left, and Wilson ended up scoring, making it 2-1. And then we just saw Canzone ground out to the shortstop, but pull his hammy. And then Rodriguez scored from third, 3-1. So we're hitting much better, but now we have a casualty, Dominic Canzone. Even though it looks like we have a good chance of winning the game, now, Dom is going to be out, hopefully just for, we have tomorrow off, thankfully, so that'll help the hammy, and then we're going to be going on the road to the Pirates. So hopefully by game 2 or game 3, Dom will be back in the lineup, kind of like Julio, just missing a game or two. And hopefully Dom doesn't hit the injured list like Randy on the 10-game IL, because, again, Dom has been one of the best hitters on the team and a great defender, but definitely pulled or tweaked that hammy running to first. Grabbed the hammy before he even got close to the bag. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Gasper. Two-0 pitch from Gilbert. Takes a strike, high and away. Good four-seam fastball there by Gilbert. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 Mariners. And we have a really good record on Father's Day at home. And again, it looks like if we can continue to keep putting up runs, hopefully the bullpen doesn't blow it, all the way. We need to give a lot of credit to the hitters. We got Bizzardo warming up, and hopefully he doesn't shit the bed, because obviously Jose Ferrer hasn't been good. A lot of the AAA guys, besides Nick Davila, haven't been that good with Rucker and Hoppy. And then obviously with Gabe Spire and Bizzardo, they're hit or miss, so not having Brash or Criswell or Vargas is really going to hurt us. And again, Cade Anderson, he's in AA, first-round pick, number 3 overall, has given up 1 run in a month, but the Mariners still aren't calling him up. Imagine if we could have that in our bullpen. Could win a lot of games with Cade Anderson. Little flip back. Logan falls down. Toe tap on the bag. Hopefully Logan's not hurt. Jesus Christ. And an error on Naylor. And Naylor tried to get it to Gilbert. Gilbert falls down, and now Gilbert is, I don't know if he's injured completely here, but a low throw there by by Josh Naylor to Logan Gilbert. Gilbert falls down. You got to throw it high, Naylor. And Naylor normally is pretty good, at defense, but obviously when you're trying to have a little handoff back to the pitcher, it's a lot of stress on a pitcher trying to cover first base. Some guys are more athletic than others. The throw was low from Naylor, and Gilbert falls down, and now they got the training staff looking at Logan Gilbert. Make the injury stop. Gilbert is waving everyone off, saying he's okay. Yeah, Nick has a problem with walks, but he still has an ERA of 0. But again, they don't want to play guys every day in the bullpen. When you see it sometimes, where you see guys pitch back-to-back nights, or sometimes even 3 games in a row, but you got to give those guys rest as well. Obviously we have our starting pitchers that, usually have about a week off, right? That's why we're going into a 6-man rotation, and now we're going to be doing the piggyback to help the bullpen. But, it's like half of our bullpen right now is AAA guys. And, again, if you have guys like Nick Davila and Cade Anderson there, that would make me feel a little bit better. But again, we may not get Cade until after the All-Star break or even into the playoffs. First pitch into Contreras is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Josh has made a lot of plays at first base for us, but again, you have to know, who you're working with. You know, it's like if you're a point guard and you're going to be passing to a center in basketball, you got to make sure that you get it in a good spot. You can't throw it low if they're not athletic. It's just going to get poked away. Same thing when a pitcher is covering first after a ground ball. You got to make sure you get that ball in a good spot for that pitcher. And obviously Logan isn't as athletic as some of the other guys in the starting rotation. So, you got to have a little touch, on who you're going to be handing the ball off to, just like a nice crisp pass from a point guard to a center. You got to know, who you're working with. Top of the 7th inning, runner at first with no outs, 3-1 Seattle. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got him. And down goes Contreras, and that is one away. And hopefully we can get a double play here next. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. Let's take a look at the pitch count to see where he's at. All right, Gilbert's at 94 pitches, so he's almost done. And then with Tolley, he's at 79. But obviously, we've been able to rough up left-handed pitching for the very first time, and Gilbert is done. And let's see if Edward Bizardo can come in and get a double play, and we can finish off this inning. All right, let's look at Gilbert's final line. 6.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 Ks, 94 pitches, 66 strikes, 3.29 ERA. He had a great game. Gave up 1 home run, and that's it. And now we just got to hope that, the bullpen doesn't, blow the game away. And we hope that we can get a few more runs because, even with a 1 or 2 run lead, we don't feel safe, with all the injuries that we've had to our players that are playing as well as our bullpen. So, hopefully we can get to 5 or at least 4 at the very least, considering, if we do get Mooney to come in, sometimes Mooney gets the job done. Sometimes Mooney is going to give up a run or 2. So you got to have as much insurance as possible. And I ain't talking Geico. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Red Sox. Next up for the Red Sox will be Jarren Duran. And then on deck is Caleb Durbin, who we've had a hard time getting him out in this series. And let's see, I believe it's going to be, they're going to go Gabe Spire. They're going to switch it up. It's not Bizardo. They're going to go Gabe Spire. And let's see if Gabe can get the job done here. We need the good Gabe, not the bad. If you're going to be a Pat McAfee lookalike, get the job done. He does have an ERA of 2, so. And Bizardo used to be our best guy in the pen last year, but not so much this year. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Best performance the Mariners have put together, in 3 games against left-handed pitching. But unfortunately, we have a casualty because, of course, we do. This is the most banged up team in baseball this season. And we have another injury to Dominic Canzone, which absolutely stinks considering he's one of our best players on the team. And hopefully it's just a tweak of the hamstring like Julio, where he's out only a couple days. Otherwise, he might be on the 10-day IL like Randy Arozarena. And it just, as soon as we get one guy back, another guy gets fucking hurt. It's just a revolving door of injuries. It's just brutal. But thankfully, we have so much depth that we're able to hover around 500 or have a couple games above. Otherwise, if we didn't have as deep of a team as we do, we would have a record like Boston or worse. We'd be like 10 or 15 games below 500. So, and we definitely wouldn't be leading the AL West. We would be in 3rd, 4th, or 5th. So, all right, Gabe Spire, first pitch, high and inside to Jarren Duran's sinker, 96 miles an hour, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. Hard hit ball towards third and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jarren Duran. Velasco in the building. What's good? 5 more likes to be able to get to 100. We're still looking for our first dono on our dono train here on Father's Day. 5 more likes, Velasco says, to get to 100. Let's get there. We got 237 in the room. Should be easy to get to 100. Just spend a little moment of your day to hit that like button here on Father's Day. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Spire to Durant. I'm not having any issues here, so it may be on your end through your internet. Usually I'll know if it's on my end, even though I have a gig, but sometimes, as everyone knows, internet is shared. So even if you have 1,000, you're not necessarily getting 1,000 all the time, depending on how many people are logged in your neighborhood. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and Gabe Spire gets a big punch out. and that is 2 away, but I'm not having any issues here. Might be on your end, Logan. Hopefully you'll be able to figure that out. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 Seattle, runner at first with 2 outs. Next up is Caleb Durbin. First pitch there by Gabe Spire. Low and at the knees, 98, 99 mile an hour sinker, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch. Little blooper. All the way back to the wall. Get it, Victor. And Gasper is at third, and now we have runners at second and third and 2 outs. Come on, Mariners. Come on, Gabe. But again, I'll know if it ends up being on my end, because on my end, the ticker, usually won't be as smooth. The photos won't load as quickly, and then obviously as you see me on the screen, it'll be, a little jittery, for a few moments until it kind of cycles through it, or until I refresh the program. So, every once in a while, when you end up doing a 3-hour stream or 3.5-hour stream, it's always possible, to have a little moment here or a moment there, depending on what's going on. But I usually try not to have anything else logged in while I'm streaming, so that way we can get the best quality stream, day in and day out. But, even when you do that, sometimes, it's out of your control. So next up is Andrew Monasterio. But if you are having issues, just, reboot, turn off your phone, turn it back on, or your computer, TV, sometimes that will help with what's going on as well. So sometimes it's the internet provider, sometimes it's YouTube, sometimes it'll be on my end, sometimes it'll be on your guys' end, but, hopefully it'll be, working out for you. First pitch in there to Monasterio, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off. Behind the plate, no balls and 2 strikes to Andrew Monasterio. Come on, baby, we got to get this last out. Come on, Gabe. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Let's fucking go. We leave 2 stranded. Woo! Let's go. Nice job there by Gabe Spire. The game could have easily been tied up 3-3, and Gabe Spire with a big fucking punch out. The Pat McAfee lookalike gets the job done, leaving runners stranded at second and third, and we still have a 2-run lead. Let's fucking go. 7th inning stretch incoming. Great job. Great job there by Gabe Spire. Rick Riz is loving it. All right, next up for the Mariners, the former Oriole, 1 for 2 with a run, third baseman Weston Wilson getting his first hit in a Mariner uniform. Good job. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI, second baseman Cole Clutch Young, and batting third, leadoff hitter, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Right ends up. Let's go M's. $66 subs to go to 24,400. Still looking for our first dono here on Father's Day. And let's see where we are at with the likes, with 234 in the room. We're at 99. We need one more like and we're at 100. So we can get one person to hit that like button, we'll be there. Trident's up. Let's go M's. All right, Danny Coulomb is coming in. All right, Danny Coulomb in against Weston Wilson. First pitch is fouled off, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch is low and at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike to Weston Wilson. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball, deep left field and foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Danny Coulomb to Weston Wilson. One-two pitch, fouled back behind the T-Mobile bricks. And another lefty on the mound. One-two pitch, Wilson, little dribbler, throw to first. And that is 1 away. Next up for the Mariners in the 9-hole, Cole Clutch Young. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3-1 Mariners here on Father's Day. Let's go, Cole. First pitch into Young is high and away with a cutter, 83 miles an hour, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Danny Coulomb to Cole Clutch Young. Coulomb on the mound. Cole Young in the box. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle. Cutter there by Coulomb. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, Mariners with a 3-1 lead, but we do have a casualty with that. Dominic Canzone being a big reason we're at 3 and unfortunately pulled his hamstring running to first after getting an RBI for Julio at third. And Young with a little blooper and caught there by Monasterio, and that is 2 away. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Big grand slam by JP on Father's Day last year. I do miss those cream jerseys that we wore. Not to say that the steelhead jerseys, are still stylish, but we haven't had the gray jerseys in a couple years, and we'll see if we go back to the creams next year. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Seattle. Nobody on with 2 outs. First pitch is low and away to J.P. Crawford. 1-0 count, the most patient hitter on the team besides Dominic Canzone. 1-0 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. 2-0 pitch. Low and away. Coulomb can't hit the strike zone here against JP. Count now is 3 balls and no strikes to JP Crawford. Come on, JP. 3-0 pitch. Finally hits the corner and gets the strike low and away with that sinker. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Seattle. After getting blasted in the first 2 games, we're just trying to prevent the sweep. 3-1 pitch. Takes a strike right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. And we know JP can play defense. He's done a great job at third base, but today playing short, giving Colt Emerson the day off. And let's see if JP can get going with the bat here, forcing a walk or a hit. 3-2 pitch, low and away, and JP forces the walk. Great at bat by JP Crawford. And Coulomb with a walk. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, and this would be a great time for Cal to hit his first home run since his injury. Come on, big dumper. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Happy Father's Day, everyone. First pitch to Cal Raleigh, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Runner at first, JP Crawford forcing a walk moments ago with 2 outs. Come on, Cal. 2-out rally. Got to get to 5 if we can. 0-1 pitch, pop back to the T-Mobile bricks. Four-seam fastball there by Coulomb. No balls, 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 0-2 pitch. Hard hit ball. Deep left field. Oh, and it stays in play. I thought that was going to be gone. And that is out number 3. End of the 7th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Cameraman fooled me there. All right, next up here as we go to the top of the 8th, as we leave JP stranded in the 8-hole, catcher Connor Wong 0 for 2. Batting second, 1 for 1 with an RBI and a base on ball, right fielder with a solo dinger, Nate Eaton. And batting third, leadoff hitter 0 for 3, the former Brewer with 2 Ks, second baseman Anthony Siegler. But the crack of the bat and the way that cameraman pulled that camera into the outfield, I thought that was gone, and they definitely fooled me. End of the 7th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. $66 subs to go to 24,400. Let's see where we're at on the likes. We should be over 100 by now. 224 in the room. We're at 108. Appreciate you. 92 to get to 200. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Shout out to our female audience, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. And a quick recap, Dominic Canzone homered to left, 348 feet in the second, 1-0 Mariners. Then Eaton homered in a double-decker home run to left, 409 feet, making it 1-1. Cole Young with a single to left with Weston Wilson on board at second, scoring in the 5th inning. Making it 2-1 Seattle, and then Canzone with an RBI single, but ended up pulling his hamstring. Julio scoring from third, 3-1 Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, Eduard Bizzardo is in now for the Mariners. Fire did his job. First pitch is Indu Yoshida, who's pinch hitting. Masataka Yoshida is in. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike to Masataka Yoshida. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Yoshida. Come on, Edward. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Masataka Yoshida. Bizzardo on the mound. Masataka Yoshida pinch hitting in the box. 1-2 pitch from Bizzardo. Popped up. Shallow left field. And caught by Robles, and that is 1 away. Here we go, Bizzardo. 1 up and 1 down. Down goes Masataka Yoshida. And we're in the top of the 8th with 1 out. Next up is Nate Eaton. First pitch from Bizzardo to Eaton gets the corner, high and inside, sinker, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Eaton. Sweeper in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Eaton. Takes a strike looking high and away. 83 miles an hour there by Bizzardo. 1-2 pitch. High and inside with a sinker. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nate Eaton. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 2-2 pitch. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Eaton. Come on, Bizzardo. And we got tomorrow off, and we'll be back live on Tuesday against the Pirates. And 3-2 pitch, and got him. Big strikeout there by Edward Bizzardo. And we definitely need Bizzardo and Spire to be good, considering Ferrer is unreliable. And then we got, obviously a few other guys like Nick Davila hasn't given up a run, but he does have a lot of walks. Rucker and Poppy aren't the greatest. They're all AAA guys, but when you don't have access to Cooper Criswell, Matt Brash, or Carlos Vargas until August, we got to do our best with what we have. And a little slow dribbler up the middle. Cole Young is there. Throw to Naylor, and that is out number 3. Great inning there by Edward Bizzardo and the defense. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th and see if we can get to 4 or 5 runs before this one is over. Good job there by Gabe Spire. Good job by Edward Bizzardo. And it's been a minute where we've actually had our top guys play well, not only once, but back-to-back. Great job. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th and see if we can get a little bit more insurance. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. It's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a base on ball. First baseman, Josh Naylor. And batting third in the 5-hole, 1 for 3, DHing Rob Refsnyder. And then obviously we'd have Luke Raley coming in for Dominic Canzone in right field if we can get to him. And that would be the 4th batter if we can get to him. Would love to see a nuke from Luke if we can get there. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1 Seattle here on Father's Day. All right, we're at 111 likes, 89 to 200. We're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. We got 2 innings to go to help with that. Every dollar counts. And 66 subs to go to 24,400. We hit 6.1 million views a few days ago, so we're going on the right direction. We got our highest single dono a few days back as well, $1,500 by Odin Sun. And now Watson is coming in for the Red Sox. All right, Ryan Watson coming in. First pitch from Ryan Watson to Julio Rodriguez. Low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, line drive to first. And Contreras ends up making the catch, and that is 1 away. Ryan Watson on the mound, and Julio flies out. Logan Gilbert did a good job in his appearance there, and Julio ends up not being able to continue the rally, but let's see if Josh Naylor can get something going here. Naylor is up next. First pitch from Watson, low and into the dirt, getting away there from him. Going to the backstop, 1-0 count to Josh Naylor. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 1-0 pitch, low and away. Naylor is challenging. See if we can win this challenge here. Mariners win the challenge. Good job there by Josh. 2 balls and no strikes instead of a 1 ball, 1 strike count. 2-0 count from Watson to Naylor. Let's go, Josh. .20 pitch. Takes a strike high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ryan Watson to Josh Naylor. .21 pitch, low and away. Good take there by Naylor. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. .31 pitch, hard hit ball fouled out of play. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ryan Watson to Josh Naylor. Bottom of the 8th with nobody on and 1 out. 3-1 Seattle. .32 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Naylor, and that is 2 away. All right, we're going to get Colt Emerson into the game. I like that. All right, Colt is hitting for Ref Snyder, so that's a good sign. And let's see if Colt Emerson can get something going here with 2 outs. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. Come on, Colt. First pitch to Emerson, little check swing on a curveball, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. Ryan Watson on the mound for the Red Sox, Colt Emerson, the phenom, in the box. And the JP ended up starting over him today, just kind of giving him a off day. But obviously, we'd rather have Colt hit than Ref Snyder any day of the week. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Getting fooled on that curveball. No balls and 2 strikes to Colt Emerson. Appreciate that, Brandon. Every like matters, every sub matters, every dono matters. 0-2 pitch. Hard hit ball into left field. Going behind the plate, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Seattle. Oh-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 looking. Looked a little low and away, but it is what it is. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th inning, and Andres Munoz is coming out. At least we have a 2-run lead, not a tie game or a 1-run lead. That's usually where Mooney fails. So let's hope that we can get the job done here with Andres Munoz, and hopefully he can get the save. All right, Mooney, get the job done. Last opportunity by the Red Sox, 1 for 3. In the 2-hole, center fielder Cedon Rafaela. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a walk, DHing Mickey Gasper. And last but not least, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, first baseman in the 4-hole, Wilson Contreras. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. 66 subs to go to 24,400. And looks like we gained a sub during the commercial break. Appreciate you. 65 subs to go to 24,400 here on Father's Day. We're still looking for our first dono on our dono train here as the 9th inning is approaching. See if we can get a few people to show a little love and support. And we're at 121 likes, 79 to 200. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Now, shout out to all the females all across the globe that are tuning in to the broadcast. Our female viewership has, gone up through the roof. It used to be under 5%, but now it's around 15 to 20%. So, shout out to all of the females all across the world that are tuning in to, the streams here at the NWSF. Shout out to all our new subs, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Appreciate you. All right, we need Andres Munoz to, pitch well. And again, we'll know how good Mooney is within the first 7 pitches, if he's locked in or if he's having a meltdown. And, even if he doesn't get any strikeouts, we can still win this game with ground balls and pop-ups or even a double play if he gets a little bit in trouble, but hopefully we'll be able to make it this a very fast, explosive inning, and we'll be able to get the victory here. We do have a good record on Father's Day at home, so... And we do have a 3-1 lead. Let's go. First pitch for Mooney. High and inside. 98 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Cedon Rafaela in the box. Andres Munoz on the mound. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. We have the day off tomorrow, and then we'll be live on Tuesday afternoon against the Pirates. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. Four-seam fastball with some high heat with it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cedon Rafaela. 98 miles an hour there by Mooney. Top of the 9th inning, 3-1 Seattle. One pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and inside. Mooney looks locked in. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Cedon Rafaela. Got to get this first out. Big swing and a miss and a big punch out. Did he get him? Or is that a foul tip? Oh. Just a little bit of a foul ball there. Just gets away from Cal's glove at the last second there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cedon Rafaela. And Rafaela pops up. Should be a routine play for Julio Rodriguez or Luke Raley. Luke Raley steps in, and that is 1 away. No fly zone in full effect. Great job there by Luke. Filling in for Dominic Canzone there in right field with the pulled hamstring. Hopefully it'll only be tweaked and he'll only be out, for a few games rather than on a 10-day IL like Randy Arosarena. All right, 1 up and 1 down. Next up, DHing in the 3-hole, Mickey Gasper. On deck is Wilson Contreras. First pitch popped up and out of play by Mickey Gasper, 0-1 count. Top of the 9th with 1 out, nobody on. Mariners up 3-1 here on Father's Day. We absolutely got blasted in the first 2 games, and we definitely have to prevent the sweep. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 0-1 pitch. Hard hit ball, line drive over Cole Young's head. He jumped for it but couldn't get to it, and it dribbles to Luke Raley and Gasper with a single. See if we can get a double play and just end this game. Slow dribbler up the middle to Cole Young, throw to Naylor, and let's get out of this. Wilson Contreras in the box. On deck is Jarren Duran. Come on, Mooney. Come on, defense. Help him out. First pitch to Contreras. Gets the corner. High and inside. 0-1 count. So far, so good. Even though he did give up a single there. It was just a little bit lower. Cole would have been able to make that, but he did jump for it, but just went over the glove. 0-1 pitch. High and inside. 4-seam fastball missing. 1 ball and 1 strike to Wilson Contreras. 101 miles an hour. Come on, Mooney. One pitch. Big swing and a miss. What a beautiful pitch. Right down the middle. And we got to be careful going right down the middle because, again, if anyone gets a hold of that, that could end up being a big RBI or home run. But a big swing and a miss. 99 mile an hour, 4-seam fastball right down the pipe. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. 1-2 pitch, low and away. Slider missing there by Mooney. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilson Contreras. Come on, Ems. We desperately need this victory. Day off tomorrow, and we have a heat wave in Oregon and Washington starting tomorrow. 3 straight days of 90 and above. And then we obviously get back to going on stream on Tuesday afternoon against the Pirates. 2-2 pitch, check swing, and he went around. Let's go. That is 2 away. All right, baby, 1 more. We need 1 more out here on Father's Day. Let's see if we can get it done here by Andres Munoz. Contreras strikes out swinging. Last but not least, in the 5-hole, Jarren Duran. Everybody standing at T-Mobile, deservedly so. Mound visit by Cal, Naylor, and company. And hopefully we can get this last out to be victorious here on Father's Day 2026. And shout out to all of the dads with sons and daughters, stepdads, and, even dog fathers like myself. And, also for the people that have dads in heaven. Father's Day is for everyone. Top of the 9th inning, runner at first with 2 outs, 3-1 Seattle. Andres Munoz looking good here so far in the top of the 9th with Jarren Duran in the box. First pitch to Duran, pops it up and out of play. 0-1 count. 2 strikes away from victory. Let's go. Come on, Mooney. 0-1 pitch. And there for a strike. He's locked in. No balls and 2 strikes to Jarren Duran. We're 1 strike away from victory. Let's go. Get a win for Father's Day. Let's go. 0-2 pitch. Got him. Let's go. Big swing and a miss. And that is a victory on Father's Day for the Seattle Mariners. Let's go. Great job there by Andres Munoz. And now, we just have a few guys that are a little unreliable, but Mooney's starting to get back on track. Final score, Mariners 3, Red Sox 1. Great job. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Fuck yeah. Let's go over the stats here really quick in this 3-1 final. We prevent the sweep. And let's go over the stats here quickly. All right, Anthony Siegler, 0 for 4. Cedon Rafaela, 1 for 4. Mickey Gasper, 1 for 3. Wilson Contreras, 0 for 4. Jarren Duran, 0 for 4. Caleb Durbin with a good series, 2 for 3. Marcelo Mayer, 0 for 2. Connor Wong, 0 for 2. And Nate Eaton, 1 for 2 with a home run. And on the flip side, J.P. Crawford, 1 for 3. Cal Raleigh, 0 for 4. Got to get him going. Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 3 with a run. Josh Naylor, 0 for 3. Rob Refsnyder, 1 for 3. Dominic Canzone had a great game, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a home run, but pulled his hamstring. Hopefully he'll be okay. Victor Robles, 0 for 3. Weston Wilson, 1 for 3 with a run. And Cole Clutch Young, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Great job there by the Seattle Mariners. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of your Father's Day as well. And again, we have the day off tomorrow, and then we'll be live, obviously back on stream on Tuesday in the afternoon, I believe around 3:30, 3:40 Pacific against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And definitely looking forward to that one. So enjoy the heat wave. Stay cool. Take care of your pets. And again, enjoy the rest of your Father's Day, everyone. Final score, Mariners 3, Red Sox 1. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners. Happy Father's Day, everyone.